Hello everyone. Okay, now for chapter 12, going to learn about coordination and response in humans. For start 12.1, coordination and response, we need to know a few terms that are related to this topic. There are 7 terms. We start with the first one, sensitivity. What is the sensitivity? Sensitivity is the ability to detect changes in our environment, in our environment or this organism's environment, and respond to these changes. So the keyword is able to detect changes and response. That is sensitivity. Number 2, stimulus. What is stimulus? Stimulus is a change that stimulates response. In BM we call it rangsangan. So stimulus is divided into 2 types. The first one, external stimulus, and then the second one is internal stimulus. What is example of external stimulus? External means outside from our body. For example, light, sound, smell, taste, surrounding temperature, pressure, and touch. Anything outside from the organism, we call it external. However, about the internal environment, internal environment is what happens inside of the organism. Let's say the organism is human. What is inside of our body? Let's say there's changes in blood osmotic pressure, changes in our body temperature, and also changes in our blood sugar level. That is an internal stimulus. So here is stimuli and then stimulus. What is the difference? Stimulus is singular, satu sahaja. When there's so many stimulus, multiple stimulus, we call it stimuli. Stimuli is plural. And then next one is number 3, receptors. Receptors is a sensory organ that detects a stimulus. What is a sensory organ in our body? For example, our eyes, our ear, our nose, and our skin. Let me create an example here. Let's say here we have stimulus. So stimulus is a funny story. Stimulus, here we have a funny story. Funny story is in a form of sound. Our friend tell us a funny story. So this is stimulus, and then we hear the sound, we hear the funny story. So our receptor here is our ears, because we heard the sound. Now we goes to brain. Brain here, what is brain? Of course, brain we know is an organ, important organ in our body. So in the form of coordination and response, the function of brain is to integrate. Brain become the integration center that translate impulse and coordinates an appropriate response. Let me explain to you what is translate impulse. Here, when the receptor heard the sound, it goes to the brain. goes to the brain, how this receptor send the message, send the information to the brain. Okay, in our real life situation, kalau kita ada mau bagi tahu kawan, kita akan, let's say, kita akan hantar SMS, kita hantar WhatsApp, okay, text, macam tu. Jadi macam mana receptor, our ear, bagi tahu brain, it's a funny story. Sampaikan funny story tu. Okay, dia tiada SMS, tiada text. Jadi, information itu akan disampaikan dalam bentuk impulse. Impulse. Okay, impulse ni aka information. Okay, informations. So, receptors send the impulse aka information to the brain. And then that's why the brain translate the impulse. They translate the message, translate the information. Bila kita dengar cerita tu, brain kita translate. Oh, this is a funny story. Okay? So, brain translate the information and then kita tahu itu funny story. And then the brain will coordinate appropriate response. So, appropriate respond for a funny story, of course, we laugh. Kita ketawa bila kita dengar cerita yang lucu, a funny story. So, this brain will go to, okay, response. So, kita pergi sini, response. Response, of course, we laugh. Okay, we laugh. So, we laugh. What is response? Response is